This is different.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It is your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different, back with another video. Today we're gonna be talking about how to make a, I guess it's gonna be more like a Young Sizzle, TM88, young what's the name, 21 Savage type beat. I was kind of listening to a couple of their songs, listened to a lot of 808 Mafia over the weekend, and I just decided, to make something similar to it and then make a tutorial showing. I don't think I really did a breakdown of anything 808 Mafia related or TM88 or Young Sizzle or Southside, whatever you call it, So decided to pick that and do that today. This is a very simple beat, not really too crazy. It's pretty simple when it comes to the arrangement, the pattern, and all that, but it gets the job done. So we'll just go ahead and switch to all. There we go. And I'm gonna go through and break down each individual part and all that, and show you what I did and how I got the sound. So first off, we're gonna start off with this sound right here, which is an ARP I made in Silent 1. This is not a preset, this is all custom. I kind of just made this on the fly, really. We're gonna just take this and undetach it so it'll disappear. There we go. And it's a simple little sound. Like if you play it regular, like I'll give you time to pause and look at how I made it. It's just really a triangle wave mixed with a sawtooth wave, and then it has like a band pass and has a little bit of cutoff and decay and release, and just a little bit of chorus. Nothing special. Very simple sound, but it sounds like this. Well, let me take the effects off of it. How about that? Do that first. Take the gross beats off. This is what it sounds like. A very simple, plucky type of sound. And to make the ARP sound, like I said, because I didn't use the arpeggiator in Silent 1, I actually just went right here to the little rapper tool, turned on the up and down, and then just played around with this till I got my arpeggiator. And here's the notes if you want to see the notes. I know a lot of you guys asked me about the notes. Nothing special. F sharp, A sharp, D sharp, A sharp, all sharp, pretty much black keys except right here. I'll switch it up a little bit. You see I have a little break and pausing, so it has like kind of a weird kind of gliding sound. And by itself, it sounds pretty, 808 Mafia-ish, until you add that gross beats, and then you get. And like I said, you can do the half speed preset, or you can do it manually, and all you gotta do is pretty much click right here, go to single curve, and then just drag it down till you get the sound you want. So now we're getting that 808 Mafia style of ARP. And it was made, like I said, it was made with a very simple little patch inside of Silent 1. Nothing special, nothing crazy, just a very simple patch. So people think you need atmosphere, nicks, and all that. You can make it with anything. You can do it freaking FL Studio default crap. Next, I add this second little ARP, which is more of a deeper sound, which I kind of just played around with. It's pretty much two sawtooth waves, one pitched up, one pitched down. A little bit of the fine-tuned note. Like I said, you can pause it right here and copy these. You can copy this if you want to. I'll show you the chorus effect because that's what I got on it. So you copy all these if you want to do that. Nothing special here. If we go to this, take out the gross beats, it sounds like this. So more of a high-pitched type of plucky bell sound. And then you add in the gross beats, you get the. As you see, I pretty much made it a little slower than the first note. So this one's, the second ARP is actually going slower than the first ARP. So this one's going faster on the gross beats, the other one's going slower. So when you play them together, you get. You know, just had that kind of rhythm, that kind of, you know, that bounce to it. So it's pretty cool right there. So far, very simple to do this type. So like I say, if you want to pause this stuff, or, you know, if enough people, matter of fact, I might just put the FLP for download and you can have all the presets. No, I don't really care. Next up, I went down, we'll go to here to this analog lab. I'm using a sequence called AMP Works, and I have gross beats and glitch on it. Well, I have gross beats, I took the glitch off, but this is what it sounds like. It sounds very cheesy and old school sounding, as you can hear. Very ambient sounding, and you add that gross beats in there, just give it that kind of, you know, that slowed down kind of trippy feel. It sounds very lazy, and then like I said, mixed with the ARPs you get. And that pretty much starts to make the beat right there. As you can hear, the beat's pretty much done at that point. Next, just really adding all the hi-hats and everything like that. And matter of fact, we'll jump into that. I have 3 different hi-hats going on here. I have this one right here, which is kind of a low hi-hat sound. And you see, it's just going in different notes, kind of panning up, like going up in key. And it just, actually, I got it pan too, left and right, as you see. Go to the pan. And you see I have it just pan randomly left and right. Just kind of give it some variation to the whole thing. So some are pan left, some are pan right. And it's just, you know, bouncing back and forth through the stereo field to kind of give you that kind of movement ability. I don't think I have nothing on it. Yes, pretty much plain. So, because I say this is a good sound by itself, so I just left it alone. Then I added a standard hi-hat. You know, the standard kind of, I want to say the one that keeps the rhythm going. So and it has a little bit of EQ cutting up the lows, and then a little bit of reverb to kind of give it some ambient space. Here without the effects. And it's just a small reverb. Like I said, I'm cutting the lows, a little bit of decay, and then a little bit of wetness, just to kind of, you know, make it simple. Everything else has been left alone. So very simple. Like I said, just copy this if you want to keep the same sound. Like I said, or just download the FLP. Then I have one more hi-hat, which is kind of this random hi-hat that does like just crazy shit all over the place. As you can see, it's panning between the stereo field. And when you play them all together, it has that kind of. So it's just very simple, but, you know, adding 3 different hi-hats, something like that, would give it more movement, more bounce, and more, like, I guess, rhythm to it, and give you that sense of sound, that sense, you know, make you want to head bob to the beat. So that's why I do that. You know, I see a lot of people just add like 1 or 2 or 1 hi-hat. You know, add more. I mean, don't be afraid to add more of the same sound sometimes. You know, add different types of hi-hats and just do different things with them. You'll be surprised on how you can really take your beat to the next level. And next we're going to go to the snare. The snare is very easy. I'm using the typical trap snare. Everybody uses, you know, y'all, there's no point even, you know, announcing it. And we're using the little EQ, cut the little bit of low and a little bit of reverb. Same thing, deal with here. Just a little bit of reverb goes a long way. This is dry. Now wet. That just adds to the mix. I know it's like a lot of 808 Mafia style of beats. You know, they have a lot of reverb and stuff on their stuff. That just reverb just kind of gives it that space and that, you know, sense of environment when you listen to their beats, which is pretty interesting. Next is a open hi-hat, which is nothing special. It's just very trippy. And that's just add the rhythm to it. So I'm not even gonna talk about that one. Then we got the kick drum, of course. One of my favorite kick drums. As you hear, very punchy. And I'm using a little EQ to cut some of the lows off. And I use a compressor. You don't have to use a compressor. Like I said, if you don't know how to use a compressor, I advise not using it, but I did make a video on how to use it, so you can look at that video up. But I did it just to make it a little bit more punchy, in my opinion. Just kind of level it out, pretty much. Not making it like super hard hitting or whatever. Really, I use my compressor to level it out and keep it at a consistent level throughout, no matter how hard it's being triggered. So that's why I did the compressor the way I did it. And as you can hear, it don't make that much of a difference, but I just played it before and after so you can see if you got some good headphones or good speakers. I highly just listen to those so you can hear it. So no compression. Compression. It's just a little bit louder, a little bit more punchy. That's it. Nothing special, no magic trick. Like I said, you don't need to do it. I just did it because, I like fucking with compressors. So, you can do it or you can't. There's no right or wrong way. And then we have the old trusty 808, the TM88 type style 808. Nothing special here. We'll go to the right here. So this would sound like before. I need some new headphones. On my headphones, cones is going bad. But yeah, all I did to this was add a little bit of decapitator. Add some distortion because they love using distortion on 808s. And I use a little bit of EQ to cut some of the mid frequency information. So it just makes it a little bit different. It gives it a different sounding 808. It's like saying you don't have to do that, but if you want to, if you're using the same 808 over and over, and you want to try to get a more unique sounding 808, I highly recommend like doing something like this, kind of EQing certain frequencies out. That way you can actually shape the 808 to have a completely different sound, and then make your own unique style of 808. So just experiment with that. And y'all already know I got a side chain to my kick drum because I do that. I do that. So we just play that together. So. Made a video on side chaining, so you can definitely look at that and watch how the side chain and what side chaining does. And then last, I added this little bitty kind of not really piano or bells, like a mix between a piano and a bell sound at an Analog Lab 2. It's called whatever that's called. It's a key sound, so it sounds like this. Had a little reverb to it. It was nice, and I added a little gross beats to it as well, just kind of make it special. But if you take it off, it sounds like. Actually, I didn't use the gross beats, 'cause I think I did it first and it didn't sound right. Hold on. That just sounds. Hold on, I'm gonna keep that. Well, look at that. Made some changes right during the video. And then like I said, I'll just play like all the percussion instruments first so you can hear that, get that bounce feel to it. So we got this. That's one thing I like about trap beats like this. If you have a very good simple melody and you have a nice kind of rhythmic, kind of bouncy percussive section like drum stuff, you have a full beat that took less than like 10 sounds to make. And a lot of people think these type of beats take a lot to go into it. They really don't. Like, really, you can just take some simple shit like this, throw two arps together, throw two arps in the sound together, and then add an 808 and a snare and a drum. You got a beat. Very simple beat. And then the arrangement wise, the arrangement is very simple. Starts off with just the arps. So
different.
right there, it's very simple arrangement, nothing special. Like I say, the arrangement doesn't need to be crazy. It just had a few change ups during the verse. As you can see, different blocks are being taken away and all that. And I will be adding in more to the beat. The beat's not completely finished. I'm gonna be adding in my transition stuff like my glitch 2 and my risers, so you know when the verse and chorus and all that comes in. So I'm gonna add them in there next, and that'll be it for this beat. But overall, in the mixing wise, there's nothing special to the mix. I just have a limiter on it too, so just a fat filter limiter to get the volume. Overall, it's not really a hard beat. Like I said, when it comes to making these style of beats, this 808 Mafia, Young Sizzle, TM88 type beats, they're very simple. They're just like I said, ARPs, gross beats, reverb, and some hard hitting 808s and stuff, and then bam, you got a full beat. Like I said, it's only like using like 10 parts to this beat, not including the vocal, my tag. So basically 10, 11 parts to it, and you got a full beat right there. Pretty much 4 sounds and the rest all percussion. So this is a proof that you got that making these type of beats doesn't have to be difficult, you know, when you have the right tools. Like I said, the main thing is utilizing gross beats in this case. Like for these type of beats, utilize gross beats. Gross beats are free. It comes with FL Studio. It's great. It works. I mean, there's other ways to use gross beats if you don't have it. I'll probably make some videos on how you can simulate gross beats without having gross beats. But and overall, man, this is definitely an easy type beat. Like I said, I'll leave the FLP in the description below so you can download the FLP if you want to take this beat and, you know, change it up, switch it up, or learn from it. I'll be happy to do that for you guys just because, you know, you're my supporters and all that. So please give a thumb up for this beat. Hopefully you learned something from it. Like I said, very simple tutorial, nothing special to it. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy. Like always, y'all know who it is. It is your boy Slim, aka Mr. Different. Yeah, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Enjoy.
This is different.